So it looks like Apple's first foldable iPhone might not be arriving quite when we expected, because according to a new supply chain report, the so-called iPhone Fold could be delayed until December. And honestly, this is one of those updates that sounds a bit disappointing at first, but once you actually break it down, it starts to make a lot of sense. But before we dive into this, quick favour, if you want the latest Apple news straight to your feeds, hit subscribe and tap the hype button. Right, let's talk about this delay. So this information comes from a research note by Barclays analyst Tim Long, who claims that shipments of Apple's foldable iPhone are expected to begin in December this year. Not September, not October, December, which immediately tells us one thing. The iPhone Fold could be announced in September but won't be allegedly released alongside the iPhone 18 Pros. Instead, we're looking at a split release strategy. The iPhone 18 Pros drop in September as per usual, everyone lines up, reviews go out, your timeline is flooded with camera comparisons, and then a few months later, Apple casually drops the foldable iPhone right before the holidays. And if that sounds familiar, it's because Apple has done this before. Back in 2017, the iPhone 8 launched in September, but the iPhone 10 didn't actually arrive until November. And that was also a completely new design, new display tech, Face ID, all of that. So Apple already has a track record of separating its more experimental products from the main launch window. And that's basically what the iPhone Fold is. This is an entirely new category for Apple. A folding iPhone with a completely different display structure, hinge mechanism, durability concerns, and a lot more that can go wrong. It's not something you just rush out the door just to meet a September deadline. So pushing it back a couple of months, that might actually be Apple playing it safe. Because if there's one thing Apple hates more than delays, it's shipping something that isn't ready. And when you look at the current foldable market, that caution makes even more sense. Companies like Samsung, Google, and Oppo have been doing this for years now, and even with multiple generations under their belts, they still have compromises. You've got visible creases, durability concerns, thicker designs, and sometimes questionable long-term reliability. Apple's basically been sitting there watching all of this unfold, no pun intended, just taking notes. And the main issue they've reportedly been trying to solve the entire time is the crease, that line down the middle of the display that you can see and feel when the phone is unfolded. Now, earlier rumors suggest Apple had basically cracked it. They said they developed a display that was nearly crease-free, possibly using some advanced panel technology. But more recent reports suggest the reality is a bit more grounded. The crease isn't gone, it's just less noticeable, which to be fair still win, but it also explains why Apple might need more time, because this is their first foldable, and expectations are going to be ridiculously high. If Apple launches a foldable with the same level of crease as everyone else, people are going to complain. If the hinge isn't perfect, people are going to complain. If it's too thick, too expensive, too fragile, you already know how this goes. So delaying it to December gives Apple extra time to refine everything, manufacturing, quality control, software optimization, all of it. And speaking of software, that's another big piece of this puzzle. The foldable iPhone is expected to run iOS, not iPadOS. But when you unfold it, the interface will adapt to that larger, almost iPad mini-sized display. We're talking about a screen that's rumored to be 7.8 inches on the insides, which is basically tablet territory. So Apple's reportedly building in features like split-screen multitasking, app sidebars, and layout adjustments to make better use of that space. But they're also being careful not to fully merge iOS and iPadOS. Because at the end of the day, this still needs to be an iPhone first, not a confusing hybrid where people don't know what they're using, and getting that balance right is going to take time, especially when developers also need to optimize their apps for this new layout. Now hardware-wise, this thing is shaping up to be pretty serious. We're expecting around 12 gigs of RAM, which puts it in line with the Pro models, and storage starting at 256, going up to 1TB. So specs-wise, Apple isn't treating this like some experimental side project sitting in the corner. This is going to be a premium device, a very premium device, because if the leaks are accurate, that top-tier model could get dangerously close to $3,000, which is the kind of price that makes you double-check your bank account and then you just quietly close the purchase tab. And this actually leads into something really interesting from recent reports. There's now talk Apple might not even call this the iPhone Fold. According to Mark Gurman, Apple could be considering the name iPhone Ultra instead. And honestly, I can kind of see this happening. If Apple wants to position this as the absolute top tier iPhone above even the Pro Max, then calling it the Ultra would make a lot of sense from a marketing perspective. It instantly tells people this is the most premium, most advanced iPhone you can buy, but at the same time, does it fully fit? Because when you think of Ultra, you probably think the best of everything. The best cameras, the best battery, the best performance, and from what we're hearing, the foldable iPhone might not actually have the best cameras in the range. There are already rumors suggesting Apple might prioritize the form factor and internal space over cramming in the absolute top-end camera hardware, which makes sense because fitting everything into a folding design is already a challenge. So calling it Ultra, while it doesn't necessarily beat the Pro Max in every category, could feel a bit off. But then again, this is Apple's marketing team we're talking about. They could call this something completely unexpected and somehow make it sound like the most desirable product on the planet. Now going back to the December release timing, this also ties into how Apple might position this device. Launching something like this right before the holiday season might sound unusual, but actually works in Apple's favor. This is a time when people are more willing to spend, especially on high-end tech. Now interestingly, this same report also mentions that Apple's going to be shifting the base iPhone 18 to a March launch next year, alongside a potential iPhone 18e and even possibly a new 18 Plus or another version of the Air, which sounds messy on paper, but it does suggest Apple's rethinking its entire release strategy. And the foldable iPhone is clearly being treated as its own thing, and honestly that might be the best move. Because let's be real for a second, even if Apple released this in September, most people are not going to buy this immediately anyway. Not because it's bad, but because it's new. First generation Apple device is always a bit of a gamble. They're exciting, they push boundaries, but they're rarely perfect, and with something as complex as a foldable, there are bound to be compromises. So by launching it later in the year, Apple's effectively targeting early adopters, the people who want the latest and greatest, who are willing to pay a premium, and those who don't mind dealing with a few quirks. Then over the next few years, Apple refines the design, improves durability, reduces the crease, maybe brings the price down a bit, standard Apple playbook, and eventually foldables become more mainstream. But right now, this is step 1. And step 1 being slightly delayed, that's not the worst thing in the world. Instead of one big Apple season in September and things going quiet, we now potentially have a second wave of hype in December, which means more coverage, more comparisons, more reactions, basically more chaos for all of us to enjoy. And you already know I'll be covering every single update along the way. So if you want to stay ahead of all the latest Apple leaks, especially around the iPhone Fold or iPhone Ultra or whatever they end up calling it, make sure you subscribe and tap the hype button. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.